Happy December.
Happy December. We're here to talk about Halloween Horror Nights.
So yeah, we're going to talk about like our final rankings for Horror Nights. So we'll talk about overall what we thought about HHN 27.
Coolio.
So what did you think?
I liked it. I thought it wasn't, I've only been to 2 years. It wasn't the best year that I went to. 25 I thought was better. Let me block that. I thought 25 was better overall, but like there were strong points in this one and weak points. I just thought 25 was strong altogether.
Okay. This was my first one and I loved it. There were things I would have changed and things like I could have done without, but I had the most fun and I will be going back.
It was so fun. I enjoyed it.
Every year now.
Right.
So we're gonna go with scare zones first, because I forgot one. My number 6 is Invasion.
Oh god.
I said this before. Aliens don't do anything for me. It was fun to like walk through, but we never like stopped. I'm sorry if we're boring.
No, I'm tired. I didn't have coffee. Continue.
We never like stopped and watched anything. We just kind of like ran through.
It's just a small scare zone. It's very, that area is always really difficult.
It was so hard to get through during the Soul Collector event because it was like a timed thing. So we were like not running. We couldn't run, but we were like speed walking. People were just like stopped. And then they did get me the first time we went. We were walking through and I was so tired. We were going to the Bill and Ted show. And one of the, not the aliens, the other guy like went, "Save me!" And I was like, "Ah!" But I didn't love it. Sorry.
Alright. My number 6 was the Roman clowns. I don't like clowns.
Chainsaw noise.
With the rubber chicken. I just don't like clowns. There's always a Roman clown horde, so like it gets old after a while. And I like when there's like a collective theme. Just clowns running around scaring me with chainsaws doesn't make me happy.
Clowns
So.
with chainsaws was the theme. Our things are not in order of scariest, like least scariest. They're
It's like what we enjoyed more, and I
Right.
hate clowns, so I was terrified and I didn't like it.
So our overall experience, it could be scares, it could be to be a fun, like stuff like that. Daniel sent me his in an email, so I have his. His number 6 was also Invasion.
Oh, okay.
So you're wrong.
Wow.
And we don't know what Josh thought. Josh just loved everything.
Yeah,
He's sleeping right now. You can do number 5.
Alright, my number 5 was The Purge. I don't like The Purge. It's such a large scare zone, and they could do so much more with it than the stupid Purge. Like, I don't know why they focus so much on The Purge every year. It's very annoying.
Because it's easy.
But I don't care. Why are you gonna go easy?
It's super easy.
But I don't care. I'd rather them take that huge scare zone and use something else.
Yeah, and Survivor Die was literally like Purge 2.0.
The same freaking thing. Like
So.
when I went, it was Body Collectors.
Yeah.
So freaking good. I loved it. I'm tired of The Purge. I think it needs a break from HHN. I also think the same with Insidious.
I think Blumhouse just needs a break.
Yeah. Or they could do like the movies no one really knows.
Well, they tried to. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, but I'm over The Purge. I never really liked it to begin with.
Daniel and I literally have almost the same list for our scare zones.
Oh, well, I'm like 360, 500 degrees away from you guys then.
Daniel and I also, at number 5, both have Altars of Horror, which was just the glorified selfie zone. I did have fun walking through it, and when I upload our vlog from the first time we went, you'll see that, because we're just like laughing the whole way through, and like the lady in black like got me, and the twins are amazing. The people in the scare zone were really good, but the scare zone didn't really give them like an amazing opportunity besides just walking around on the street. Altars of Horror was and then towards the end of it, you couldn't even take pictures with the twins or like really anybody. They were starting to like be instructed not to take pictures with people. So the reason they put the scare zone there like got taken away.
That wasn't really the reason. They never said that was the reason.
Yeah, but there's always like a selfie scare zone, and that's what that one is.
I thought the selfie scare zone was trick or treat.
Number 4, Daniel and I both had Festival of the Deadly.
So did I.
Oh yay!
I didn't like the scare zone.
But I think Daniel, you loved it.
I didn't. I thought it was stupid.
No, but the first time we went, they still didn't have all the sets.
Yeah.
And it was raining, so still walkers weren't out most of the night.
But then when we did have it out, we didn't. Like when we went the second time, it just girls dancing on stripper poles, people with skull masks. Like it's nothing interesting.
No, Ashley doesn't like it because somebody was stalking her.
Yeah.
we'll talk about it later, but we're doing the second challenge, and it was in Festival of the Deadliest. And we're looking for something, and we split up. And I just hear Ashley go, "Stop it! I'm trying to find my sister!" And, like, this girl's, like, stalking her.
No, but some guy.
Oh. And I just turn around and I'm like, "Ashley, I'm right here."
I know, I'm like, I need you.
But that's why Ashley didn't like it. But I just thought...
No, I just didn't think it was thought out well.
And it was, like, supposed to go... If you can hear our dogs, sorry. It was supposed to go with the Fallen, apparently, and I didn't see it.
Where were the little fallen people with wings?
It was, like, the same, like, festival thing. I just didn't love it.
No, I didn't like it.
It was alright.
Cool. Alright,
Your turn.
my number 3 is Invasion. I thought the sets were cool. I thought the aliens were cool. If there was one of them, if you touched his thing, it went...
But he had, like, a plasma thing on his back, but you weren't supposed to touch it.
Shut up, I touched it anyway.
I know.
But I thought it was...
Don't touch the scare actors.
I thought it was cool for... I thought, compared to the other scare zones...
We have zombies trying to get in our room.
Compared to the other scare zones, I like this one, like, a lot better. Like, I liked it a lot better than I liked Purge. I just wish they would have given it a larger area. Like, they should have switched the Purge and Invasion. Give Invasion such a bigger scare zone, because that freaking UFO took up half the room.
Yeah.
And then they
stuck
had
out really
a stupid truck as well.
It was like a UFO and a truck and then a walkway.
And it got very congested. But yeah, I liked Invasion. I like aliens.
So yeah, number 3 is the Purge. I had a lot of fun. There was the guy with the hockey stick and, like, nails or, like, barbed wire on it. He was my favorite because it's a hockey stick. Nobody ever really got me, like, scared me in there, or Daniel, but it was fun to watch other people get scared in the Purge. Because, like, people would be sprinting. And then there was, like, that one little stage that had the guy in the body bag and, like, the girl would, like, beat him. And then the wood chipper was really cool, except for when it tried to spray water at you.
It didn't spray. It, like, dumped water on you.
I liked the Purge. I wouldn't want it back next year.
It'll probably be back.
Or the year after that. Or I think it needs a break, but I liked it a lot. And so did Daniel.
Okay, my number 2 is Altars of Horror. I enjoyed it. I liked seeing the characters outside of their thing, because outside of the houses, because in the houses you don't get, like, a really good look at them. And in Altars of Horror, you can appreciate their makeup a little bit more.
Right, like Bagul.
Like, Bagul actually looked like Bagul in the scare zone. In the house, I don't think he looked like Bagul that much.
True.
So, yeah.
I could see that.
And, yeah, it was fun watching you get scared by the Lady in Black.
She, like, lunged at me.
And, yeah. And then the whatever his name is from Ash with Hector.
No, it's not Hector. Hector's
Pablo?
from Coco.
Pablo?
I think it's Pablo.
Yeah, I liked seeing all that. I thought it was fun.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. It was fine. This is where Daniel and I do not agree.
Oh, God.
Daniel's number 2 was Trick or Treat.
What the heck was his number 1?
He's wrong. My number 2 was Clowns. They were the funniest.
They were...
Also, we have it on film of them scaring the absolute crap out of me.
Yeah.
We were walking and vlogging, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's so dark over here. And he just, like, runs out, and I, like, drop the camera, and I just start sprinting and screaming. I just had a lot of fun. And then there was one clown who would walk around with a rubber chicken and just, like, squeeze it in people's faces. And I think it was the same guy. He would just yell chainsaw noise at you. But we also saw a girl absolutely eat it.
Oh my, because it was the first time we went, and it was raining in the Simpsons area. It's really slippery over there. And she was running away from the clown and ate shit.
Like,
sorry.
Her legs completely... I don't care if you curse anymore. Her legs...
This is Halloween Horror Nights. We can curse.
Her legs completely, like, fell out from underneath her, and she just went down. And the coordinator, whatever they're people, they wear the glow bracelets, or the glow necklaces, came over and was like, oh my God, are you okay? And the clown was like...
shook.
And he just, like, went on his merry way. Daniel's number 1 was Clowns. It was just a lot of fun. I can see why he put it as number 1, but he's wrong.
Yeah, he's wrong.
And Ashley and I probably have the same number 1.
Yeah, Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat!
It's the best.
It was beautiful. Like, stunning. Right? Wouldn't you say it was
Sam
stunning?
was cute. All the
Sam
people are cute. Their makeup was good.
Yeah, the werewolf girls, there were no edges on those prosthetics. They were blended. They were so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the guy on the stilts with the whistle in his mouth.
Yeah.
That got us.
And then just like the principal was good.
Mm-hmm.
All of it was good.
The old man was good. The Sams were amazing.
Everything was good. There was nothing bad about that scare zone.
It wasn't big enough.
I thought it was perfect. Because if it was as big as the Purge, it'd be a little too much.
I mean, yeah. I wish that there were the kids who went down to that like hole in the lake or the ravine or whatever.
Oh.
I wish there were those kids, but they had the ones
they had the people from the bus, yeah.
Which I liked. They had the bus. They had the old man. They had
the principal on his front doorstep
with the guy. Did they have 2 or 3 Sams? They had the
3,
and one of them was pumpkin.
No, if we're talking about statues, there's 4 because there was one at the end.
No, but actors.
There was
pumpkin
the regular
Sam
one.
and regular Sam. Not pumpkin head, but like
one.
half of his like.
I thought there were 3 walking Sams. I could have sworn I saw 3. I don't remember.
And like one stayed at the beginning, one was in the middle, one was at the end. But yeah, it was really good. I really like Trick or Treat.
Okay.
On to the houses, which I have actual like words from Daniel about them.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure our number 9s are the same. Saw.
Even Daniel.
I hate Saw.
All of us had Saw for number 9.
It was okay.
Like, my reasons for Saw.
I enjoy the movies. She's just it wasn't as scary as it was you stopping and staring at things. Because if you want to see the contraptions go off, you have to stop and wait.
You have to have a perfect run to actually enjoy the house.
The only one we saw was the girl getting her ribs taken out.
I actually saw that one because I was mad.
I had to stop to see the drill.
Oh, I didn't. I saw the knife. Was that at ours?
The knife. Oh, no. The one with that. I didn't see that.
I saw that.
I didn't see that. The one that got like perfect timing was the girl that was scalped. All you saw was her scalp in the contraption, and then she ran out with like her bloody head. So that one was perfectly timed. Everything else, you just had to. It was a lot of stopping and staring, and then piggy people jumping out at you. Yeah. I did get scared because one guy whispered in my ear when I was trying to get the heck out of there.
That's a theme.
And yeah, they like to whisper in our ears. I'm not into that. So.
Well, this is also the shortest house, or one of the because it's in the.
It felt so long.
It's in the Shrek theater, the 3rd theater, but Daniel literally has. It felt like an eternity, and I remember. It
felt so long.
I thought it was just me because I was scared. This was the one house I did not. I opened my eyes like twice, and that was it because I had my face buried into Josh's bag because Saw just, as we know, it freaks me out. So we're walking, and at one point I screamed in Josh's ear. I was like, "Why are we still in here?" And he was like, "I don't know." And I was like almost in tears. But I opened my eyes. I saw the puppet, which is the one thing I did not want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like at the top of the thing. And I saw the rib contraption, the knife contraption. And that's it. Oh no, I saw the guy in the barbed wire.
I don't remember that. And I saw the end room with like the. Did we have the bucket people? We did. The people with buckets.
I think we only had 2 bucket people where Hollywood had like the whole room.
Yeah.
I only know that from a walkthrough. Didn't open my eyes. And Daniel said traffic moved faster than the traps, which, yeah. And the lighting showed scare actors resetting and inconsistencies in the makeup. Those were Daniel's. I know Daniel said that he could see the like bright orange
yeah,
earplugs.
you could see their earplugs, which annoyed.
Because the lighting in Saw was super bright when the traps would go off, which I get. But then the rib one, it went off and we saw it go back down. And I was just like, what? Yeah, Saw.
Yeah. Alright.
Number 8. Daniel and I have the same one.
What is it?
The Fallen. Do you not have that?
No.
So Daniel said, awesome set, which I agree. It was beautiful. Not so great execution of the concept. Because it was originally supposed to be angels versus like darkness. But then I heard that they ripped all the wings off right before it started. Like before HHN started because there were no wings on anybody. And then it was just kind of like evil versus good. Yeah, so this house, I was wet the second time we went through it. There were 2, like, I don't know if they were guest activated. No, they were character activated scares. But it was like this girl ripping a spine out of somebody. And it shot water straight at me. My whole right side was wet when we left the house. Because then there was another scare where they shot water at my right side, and I just was like...
Yeah, I have my poster for Soul Collectors just drenched.
It was a cool scare because I was like, ah! But I did not appreciate being wet because it was kind of chilly.
Jeez.
The bungee and flying scares took forever to reset.
Yes.
We never got to
annoying.
see all 3.
I saw, not the first one, I think I saw the last 2, where like the guy comes down from the top.
We saw that one, and we saw the flying one. We didn't see the bungee
the
ever.
one that comes like out, he went right before us, and then we were ready for him to like reset. It took him like 20 minutes to reset.
Well, and then the second time he went right after us.
Yes, and
So-
I turned around and I saw him go, but
Yeah.
like I wanted him to lunge at me.
And it's like it's a cool scare.
But like I wanted it to be.
So we never got to see the bungee. We got to see the flying track and the guy who comes right at you. And the guy who came right at us, I didn't see him come at us.
Dropped.
I saw him at us. I never saw him drop. And I just remember holding on to Josh and screaming at him, "You are way too close!"
I remember Daniel had just like falling to the floor.
Because he jumped at you guys and I looked up and he was already like right there. And I was like, no, no, no. And Josh was like, did you just yell at a scare actor? And I was like,
Yeah.
He was in my bubble.
Oh my.
But it was gorgeous, but I didn't have like a lot of fun in there. It was just pretty, and then the flying was cool, but if you're gonna like say you have these flying scares,
Like kind of make it throughout, not just in like,
Yeah.
it was one chunk of a section.
it was one and right after the
Yeah.
other. So you saw the bungee one, then you look up and the guy's flying, and then right after that the guy's dropping. So, and I felt like there weren't that many scare actors in there.
Oh, the second time we went through, there were so many.
Well, maybe it was the first time, because I just remember like not seeing anybody. The second time, no, there were a lot. 'cause
Yeah,
I
the
kept
first
jumping.
time, like, I don't know if they were going through, like, a change or something, but the first half of the house, there was nobody in there.
There was the one big guy when you walk
Yeah.
in, and that's it. And then we had nobody until the bungees.
Yeah.
It was alright. I wouldn't have it back.
Mm.
It was kind of confusing. Alright,
My
good.
number 8 is Hive. I'm very sad because we only went through Hive once. We didn't go through it again during Soul Collectors, which I wanted to go through.
Yeah.
But during Hive, I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on. So, literally, it was like a dark house that I was walking through with lots of loud noises. I didn't know what was going on. I don't remember ever getting scared in there. So, I don't.
I remember hearing you get scared. I wasn't looking.
I don't remember that house at all.
It was the first house we did.
I tried to look, and I couldn't see anything, so I was just annoyed.
It was super dark because rumor on the street is it was originally The Conjuring,
Mm-hmm.
but there's an issue with the couple from The Conjuring and like a book coming out, so they would not like give their rights away anymore to like their story. So Horror Nights had to completely change it. So they like just smeared dirt all over the walls, and there's still like Ohio things in there. Like there's like a Browns thing. And they just changed it to Cary, Ohio, like where everything happens in Horror Nights. They just like smeared dirt on the walls and like, oh look, now it's a vampire house.
Yeah, no, not into it.
Yeah, we'll talk about Hive. I didn't really look. I looked maybe 3 times. I looked in the room.
Even
with the
if
crib.
you looked, you couldn't see anything.
That was the thing. Whenever I would like open my eyes, I was like, it's so dark. How is this safe? And then it would like go from light to dark, and you like didn't have time to adjust. Which that works for scares, but it's not safe. And I remember looking at the stilt walker, which you don't remember.
No, there was a stilt walker.
It was like Nosferatu, but like 8 feet tall, and he comes right out at you. And I just remember Josh going, "Do not look up," because I was just like terrified at that point. And of course I go, "What?" And he's right like there, and I was like, "Ah!" And then there was one guy who saw that I was like visibly scared and buried into Josh's back, and went in my ear and was like, "Look up!" And I was like, "No!"
Yeah, no, I don't remember anything about Hive. My 7 is Fallen. We already talked about it. I liked Fallen. Well, no, I was scared poopless. The circular room where they all come out at one time.
I wasn't looking.
Oh!
Because I remember somebody said in the circular room it was scary, so the second time we went through, I just
There
closed
were
my
like
eyes and held on.
7 or 8 whole, like, arches that they would come out, but you think they would all come out sporadically. They all come out at the same time. So you have no time to escape. So,
Second time we went through, I didn't have Josh to hide behind, but Ashley went first. And she had a strap on her backpack, so if I got really scared, I just closed my eyes and held on. And we made friends.
I liked Fallen.
I
only didn't like 2 houses. That was Saw and Hive.
Okay.
So yeah.
Number 7. Blumhouse, me and Daniel.
Alright.
So, I had more fun in Blumhouse than I did in Fallen or Saw. That's probably the only reason I put it, and only the second time, because the first time I didn't really look. Because Blumhouse was the second house we ever went through. Daniel, his plus is the Bagul scare at the end, which I still didn't see.
I didn't see it the second time. Or the first time.
And length of each section wasn't equal. The Purge and Sinister felt like it was over in 10 seconds. # justice for Bagul. What he put.
Goodbye.
And then he said it was overall forgettable. I kind of feel the same way. I also remember Blumhouse is one of the only houses that actually scared Josh. In the Purge section, the girl with the machine gun, she like came out and shot right at us, which changed after the Vegas shooting. Mm-hmm. There was no more machine gun. But there still was the noise, but that scared the crap out of Josh. The second time we went through, I don't remember the people in the living room of the Purge doing anything.
He got me. Big boy got me.
I don't remember
Big
that.
boy got me. He came out of the side. I was like, whoop!
Yeah, I don't remember that. And I was looking. I was
Big
like,
boy got
hi.
me.
And then the Insidious part, we went in the first room and it was so foggy, and I just like closed my eyes at that point because I knew I was not going to be having a good time. And Ashley will tell you about her favorite scare in Blumhouse when we get there. So yeah, Blumhouse.
What number was that for you?
7. Did you do 7 already?
Yeah, I did Fallen. So 6. Scarecrow. Everyone loves Scarecrow. Everyone loves Scarecrow. I didn't think it was that impressive.
I don't think it was like top house of the year.
Yeah,
like
everyone was
said.
like, Scarecrow's amazing. Oh my gosh. Like, Scarecrow was good.
I like the sleep, sorry.
But there were so many houses that were so much, like, they were so much better than Scarecrow.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I'll talk about Scarecrow.
Like, I liked Scarecrow. I thought it was scary. It took forever. And then, like, yeah. I mean, it's just Scarecrow people popping out at you. I hate cool. The mirror rooms. The mirror rooms in every house piss me off.
Because they get you.
I hate it. I just don't look at that point.
My favorite mirror scare of you.
Shut up.
Will come up later.
Shut up.
The double one.
But yeah, Scarecrow. It's not memorable for me, honestly.
Daniel agreed with you.
Okay.
So number 6 for Daniel was Scarecrow. He said really good scares. It lived up to expectation, which I would think he would put it higher because of that. And he's bitter because he got caught behind that guy.
Oh my god.
Daniel goes, bitter because I got caught behind that idiot who stopped before each room and ruining the scare. But when we went through it the first time, well, I said the first time because Ashley...
The first trip.
Ashley and I went back, they did not. So they only went through these houses once, except Horror Story, which we all did twice. Mm-hmm. We got stopped at a cash change. So we were the next group to go in. So the groups ahead of us had time to go. And it was cool to see the cast change because you saw them like go like that, and I was like, wow, oh my god, they're so tall.
Yes.
We watched the cast change, and Josh and Daniel were like, that's a big mother effer.
Oh, that was Daniel.
There was like a guy who was like 8 feet tall because none of the actors were shorter than 6'2" in that house. Said Universal, not me. So we're walking, we're the first group, whatever. We caught up to the last group before us. And this guy, before he walked into every room, would stop, take a breath, like he
collect himself,
preparing himself,
and then go.
So Daniel like could not enjoy anything because Daniel was first in our group because this guy just kept stopping. And the houses are not meant to be stopped.
At that point, I would have just gone in front of him because it was getting very annoying. And we met up with them like not even halfway through the house.
So he was doing this like constantly.
Like no,
yeah.
You don't do that.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that. My number 6 is Hive. I wanted to put it at number 8 because we only went through it once and I didn't look. Mm-hmm. But the parts I did look in, I had more fun in the 3 before this. And I thought it was better and I got scared more. Mm-hmm. The only reason I had fun in Blumhouse was because Josh got scared and then you the second time. That was the only reason I had fun in Blumhouse. Sure. But I liked it. I wish I would have seen the glowing eyes. But they weren't glowing eyes, they were glowing contacts. They were UV contacts, I found out.
Ew.
So yeah, Hive was just and then the big boy who scared me.
Ooh. Now what are we on?
5?
Yeah. Number 5 is Ash versus Evil
We
Dead.
all had the same number 5,
okay.
including me.
All right. I love Ash vs. Evil Dead. I
Same.
thought it was a great house.
Same.
I just wanted it to be a little bit more scary. But aside from that, still didn't see the stupid puppet.
He wasn't there when we went the second time.
Ugh, I didn't see this little Ash puppet. I didn't see him the first time. He wasn't there the second time. So the first time we went through, Daniel and I got lost. So we're walking, and then in some of the boo holes, there's a mirror so you can see the scare actor, and you think they're coming from one direction, but they're actually coming from the opposite direction. And there was one in there for some scary motherfucker. And
it was the demon that they summoned from the first couple episodes in the first season.
Yeah, so we're like, okay, he's gone. And then we went left, and the guy was there, and we're like, what? And we didn't know where to go. And this character was like, move, or go the other way.
He was like, other way.
And Daniel and I were just not processing it. So the freaking attendant had to come, and we're like, no, guys, it's this way. And we're like,
And I'm just standing there with Josh, just what's going on?
Daniel, we were like, we want to go left.
But the guy right. In his boo hole went like this and was like, wrong way.
And I'm just so disoriented. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then it was just good. I like Ash.
You need to watch it.
I like the demon girl with our favorite line that is not appropriate for families.
Yeah.
And then the ending, I like walking outside and he's busting open the keg.
Check them out.
And I like the facade. The facade is awesome.
Oh my god, the derby. Yeah, Daniel said good balance of funny and scary, which I agree with. It wasn't the scariest,
but it was still scary. I got scared.
Winner for best interaction with a scare actor, which was the wrong way.
Shut up.
And Daniel said the negative was none of the actors look like Bruce Campbell. ... There
was some hot ones, but they didn't look like Bruce Campbell.
Every time we went into this house, I wouldn't intentionally, but I would end up flirting with an Ash actor. There was the one behind the wall who was cutting the lady's head off. When we went through the second time, we were stopped, and he pointed at me, and I was like, what? And he was like, and the guy behind me was like, I think he wants you to flash him. And I was like, sorry, and kept going. But they kept winking at me, and Josh was like, can you stop flirting with Bruce Campbell? And then the best part was the hello blanks.
Blankies.
That was the best part. And every time we went through that house, I just was laughing, and I had the most fun.
It was fun.
I loved that house. A lot of people didn't like it, but the walk.
The walk to get there is an African safari trek or something.
And to get back, it's just as long.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah. But amazing house.
You burn off the alcohol you drink.
That's true.
In that walk. Okay.
That is true. All right, numero 4.
Mine is Blumhouse. I really enjoyed Blumhouse.
Wow.
I thought it was very scary because I didn't look during the Insidious part at all. Okay, so let's talk about my scare with Bugul. So, the second time we went through for Soul Collectors. So I'm walking, and then all of a sudden we get, it's after the video room with Bugul, so I was like, cool, there's nothing else happening in Sinister, let's get to the Purge. And then we're walking down the hallway, and there's these doors, and then 2 Buguls come out at the same freaking time, and I just I stop and I freeze, and I'm like, what do I do? And I was just I'm waiting there, and I'm like, I'm not going until y'all go back in your holes. So the one on the left goes back, but then the one on the right just kind of stays there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go around you. And he follows me with his demon eyes as I go around him. And I'm
like, Ashley like a dog.
No, I hate you. I never saw him in the first room because I knew he was coming from the right. So I
always got me.
Just stare at the left. I would stare at the video and not look to the right. And once the cue noise went off, I was like, cool, he's gone. Yeah, I thought the Purge always scared me because that from the living room scene, there's this one guy that comes from the left and he's huge and big and he hovers over me.
Oh yeah.
And he's real scary. I don't like him.
Yeah.
And then that's really it for the Purge. The Insidious part, the first time we went through, freaking Darth Maul.
The red-faced demon.
There's a scene where he's behind a bunch of sheets in a square. And you have to walk around it. He got Daniel and I 4 or 5 times in a row. And I'm at that point, I clocked out. I was done for the day. I closed my eyes.
Our second
and
house.
I was gone. I was gone and I was done. The second time we went through, I didn't look during Insidious. I literally, we made friends for Soul Collector. I literally would look down and follow his feet.
Take a breath, you're talking so low.
I would follow his feet and be like, when he stops, I stop.
Ashley had a hat on too.
And
she was like...
But there was one point in the Insidious house where I'm looking down, and I think it was the lady in black. She freaking squatted down so that she could get in my face. I was like, I'm not into this.
And Ashley like ducked and booked it, and I was like, stop. I'm like, I almost broke her bag in Blumhouse.
Don't like, okay, Insidious is like, I've always said it was like the scariest horror movie I've ever seen. I don't like it.
Really? That's like me with Saw. So Ashley,
I don't think Saw is scary.
Insidious is Ashley's Saw.
But I'm not like terrified of Insidious. I think it's scary.
Terrified. I like the Saw movies. The concept of Saw really gets to me.
The concept of Insidious is not real to me. But yeah, I just think it's scary, and I don't like all these demons. Like the end, everyone was talking about. I think my eyes were open for the second time we went through with like the 5 people at the end, but I still did not see Bagul at the end. Apparently, Bagul was at the end of that house, and I didn't see him.
I'm telling you, I tried to keep my eyes open during Insidious. I saw all that fog in the first room, and I was like, I can't do this. Ashley, you gotta leave me.
I thought it was a great house. I just wish that they would represent. See, they kind of like did what they do with the Purge and the scare zones with Insidious in this house. Like, if you're just gonna make Insidious the majority of the house, just give it its own freaking house at that point. Like they did with Hollywood, but that was just on the 4th chapter by itself. Like,
I never saw the red hair.
I didn't see
the new girl.
Like, just do a whole compilation of Insidious and make it a house at that point.
They've done that before.
Yeah, I know. When I went, it was the 3 movies or the 2 movies or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, just like. If you're gonna say it's a Blumhouse house, give each of them equal representation. Not be like, it's Insidious with a sprinkle of other Blumhouse properties. Yeah. So yeah.
I wish they would have done Happy Death Day because I really liked that movie.
I liked that movie. It kind of annoyed me, but I liked it.
It was very annoying, but I really liked it. It's my birthday! You're playing that on your birthday. My number 4 was Scarecrow. Second time we went through, I had a lot of fun. There was one point, it's everything Ashley said, but then there was one point. Did you say Scarecrow yet? Yeah. We're walking, and then it just stopped. And I knew I was between 2 boo holes. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew it. And it was just on either side of me, and we were stopped, and we were not moving. And they come out at the same time, but the guy on the right sees that, like, I'm right there and there's nowhere to go, so he kind of goes back in. The guy on the left literally pushes his chest into my shoulder, gets to my ear and goes, move! And I was like, Ashley, we have to leave, we have to go!
I was like, I can't move.
I was like, go! She's like, I can't move! And I was like, I don't care, he doesn't want me here anymore.
Yeah, no, because we made friends for Soul Collectors, and I was already running into him. Like, at one point, my head bashed into the back of his back. And I was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's okay.
They thought we were funny, because we were just, like, freaking out.
So, yeah.
Daniel's number 4 was The Shining. I don't agree with that.
What is wrong with him?
He said it was major redemption for The Exorcist in 2016. He did not like The Exorcist house last year. I wouldn't know, but from what I heard, it was a good representation of the movie.
I know a lot of people didn't like the transitions from room to room because it was just black hallways and you knew where the scare was going to be.
What's his name?
Pazuzu. You'd always knew it was Pazuzu at the end of the hallway or Reagan with her tongue sticking out. Like, the thing would just drop and it'd be there. So you always knew that was happening, and then you'd go into the room again.
Right. Yeah, and then he said not the scariest house, but did it justice.
I thought it was scary.
We'll talk about that when we get to it. So, Daniel, you're wrong.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, number 3 is The Shining. I love The Shining. I thought it was great. I thought, from when I saw videos of Hollywood, ours was like 500 million times better than Hollywood's.
Yeah.
I don't like the lady in the shower. She scares me every time.
Really? Did she make you jump on Josh's back?
No, but like, because she came out behind you guys.
Yeah. Well, mine's also The Shining, so we'll just talk about it together. My number 3 is The Shining.
Yeah. We have the same number 2 and number 1 then.
Yeah, probably in the same order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. The hedge maze, the beginning and the end, was the hedge maze. Mm-hmm. It was very predictable to see where he was going to come out of, but each actor had like 3 different holes he could come out of. So you knew he was going to come out of a hole, but you didn't know which one. Yeah. And a lot of the time he would get you at one, he would get you at the second, and get you at the third. So you're just like, ah! But they look like Frankenstein.
I didn't mind it.
They all just had like in
Forehead
Hollywood they had
pieces.
full masks. In ours they just had forehead prosthetics.
I liked how we did the forehead prosthetics because in Hollywood you couldn't even like see his mouth moving.
Yeah, but ours just like looked like Frankenstein. He had like 5 head instead of 4 head.
I thought ours was great. I like our elevator scene.
Oh yeah, I know. I loved that.
I liked the Grady twins because we actually had actors. Hollywood
Yeah.
didn't.
And the way
didn't
they
see
did
Blowjob Bear.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
I see him?
I saw him. I saw him
I
twice.
don't remember him.
I like the Grady twins. They also use the mirror trick,
Mm-hmm.
where so they're next to you, and you see Danny down the hallway, and Danny was just like a mannequin on a tricycle. So next to you, you see this mirror with a hallway next to you, and there's the twins. But then they come forward and they pop out next to you from behind,
So you think they're coming like head on,
Straight,
but they're
they're
coming
behind.
from your side.
and they just come out and they go, "Play with us, Danny,
yeah.
forever and ever."
Never.
And then you do the bathroom scene with the lady in the shower. The first time we went through, there's the one in the shower, there's her silhouette, and then she pops out and you're like, ah! And then you go around a corner, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. She comes out
Of
from
the
another
door.
area and jumps right at me behind, and I jumped onto Josh's back. And I was like, wah!
Oh my.
And the people behind us thought I was the funniest person.
And then in the Here's Johnny scene with the door, there's another boo hole that he can come out of. So if you
Yeah.
miss him saying Here's Johnny, he'll
Watch
say
out.
it again over there. And I'm like, oh my, that
Yeah.
got me. Because the Here's Johnny at the door didn't get me, but when he came around the corner, I was like, peeing my pants.
But the real MVP of this entire house was the guy from the bathroom with the bullet hole in his head in the mirror room that got you twice in a row. So we're walking.
He
and
got me like 4 times.
it was a room. It was a room of mirrors, and we're walking, and you can see him. It's not like he's hidden. Well, then his thing goes off, and he jumps out, and Ashley screams. But then everyone stopped moving.
Because I wasn't looking.
Right.
I tried not to look in the mirror.
And I was
so
like laughing.
often.
I was like, ha 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 ha. And then he resets it. We saw it move, and he does it again, and Ashley gets scared again. And I was like, seriously?
All I did was hear the noise. I didn't even see him.
Yeah.
And I got scared.
And then the ballroom.
The ballroom didn't get me.
The club or whatever. That I thought was the coolest room.
Yeah.
Because they're mannequins, and then everything goes to blacklight,
And then they start.
and then they start scaring. And the first time we went through, the guy got me because we were leaving the room, and I thought he couldn't, but there was like a little hole, and he like got in my face, and I was like, eh. But then the second time, I was like, Josh, help! Here's Danny
Here's Johnny.
the Danny with the axe.
Oh my
got
gosh.
us.
It's like the first part of the house, and it's like he's looking for Danny
boy.
And then you think that's it and you have time, but then literally there's 2 actors that are going around
So
and
there's
around.
constantly
so you
a
never
guy.
miss that one. And it's scary as heck.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, he's right there, and then it comes out again, and I still jump.
Yeah.
And he walks with you
Yeah.
around a corner, and you're like, oh god. And then the final had like the
The
frozen
Hedge Maze
hedge
was
maze.
good. I finally saw him dead, which was cool.
It was cold.
Yeah.
I like The Shining. I thought it was a really good representation of the movie.
Yeah.
Like really good.
I liked it.
I had a lot of fun. It was also very bright,
Yes.
but I like that because you could see the details. The blood elevator was great. 10 out of 10 would recommend. All right, number 2. Daniel has the wrong number 2. I'm
Oh,
just gonna
God.
tell you that right now.
Don't tell me it's American Horror Story.
Oh wait, Daniel's number 3 was Dead Waters. I'm sorry,
Wait, so what was number 2?
I didn't do his number 3 yet.
Oh, okay.
Daniel's number 3 was Dead Waters. He said it was the prettiest. And it says, receives honorable mention for making me fall. Apparently, this is an HHN tradition now. Daniel falls every time he goes to HHN. And then hashtag Man and Bush,
Forget Man and Bush. I hate him.
which we'll get to.
Man and Bush is a poop.
I think we'll get to that right now because my number 2 is Dead
My
Waters.
number 2 is Dead Waters.
So we'll talk about Man and Bush first. So you walk in and you see the riverboat.
Man and Bush.
And
There's 2 Man and Bush.
Man and Bush is like, you know those
A
hunting
man in a bush.
Well, no, those hunting outfits, and it looks like leaves. They're people dressed in that, and they stand in like foliage, and they get you because you don't think they're there. So that's Man and Bush. You walk into the riverboat scene, and there's 2.
You have to walk across like a bridge to get into the boat.
Right, and the first time we got scared. So the second time we're walking, and I was like, Ashley, remember Man and Bush? And like 5 seconds later,
They come out.
and
I'm
we
like, no!
jump after saying Man and Bush.
There's also a part where you're walking onto the riverboat where you get drenched in
Yeah,
water,
we got
and
one
my
again.
poster got forgotten. I don't even know where that poster is at this
I still
point.
have mine.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then the tilted hallway was super scary Because I thought that they were going to be safe and not scare you when you're already disoriented.
No.
I thought there was only one scare actor, but the second time we went, there were two.
I don't
Remember we walked in and it was the lady right there?
Oh, yeah, and then at the end of the hallway.
Yeah, which the first time Daniel and Ashley get scared, and so Josh
Daniel falls into the wall, and I just go with him because I'm holding on. So we're just like, and then, yeah. So then the second time we went through, we got to the end of the hallway. Like, halfway through the hallway, I'm running
and she's
around
like,
the corner.
Hold on!
And I'm like, I'm not doing this again! And I run, and I'm like, I'm over this!
Yeah, so the second person didn't get us. The second time I kept my eyes open the entire time. First time I did not because I kept hearing how scary Dead Waters was, and I just was not prepared. The only time I looked the first time was the Voodoo Queen, the one in her when she's up top.
Yeah.
And she like looked at me and I was like, hey. But I loved Dead Waters. I wish we could have gone through it again, honestly.
Same.
There were a lot of scary people. They didn't have a lot of boo holes. They were just kind of in the set.
Yeah.
And like there would be one on each side and they would just get you. I didn't see Mark Twain.
There was a Mark Twain.
Yeah, there was a Mark Twain. And I'm like really mad I didn't see him.
How observant I am.
There were like some man bull hybrid Bastien looking things.
I remember those.
The set, gorgeous.
I like
it. Wasn't as cramped as Scarecrow. That's something we didn't say. Scarecrow was very, very tight.
Yeah, no bueno.
Like the roof was low, the wall. That's why when they came out of the boo hole, they were on top of me. They had no room to scare. If somebody was walking. What else about Dead Waters? Oh yeah, Man and Bush.
Man and Bush.
They had the squishy floor.
I didn't know.
In the swamp. It wasn't like, oh my god, I'm sinking. It was just like padded floor, like kind of what you stand on at a register.
Oh.
It was like those.
I'm used to that, so maybe I didn't notice.
So,
so the first time we went through Dead Waters.
You're whispering.
The first time we went through Dead Waters, the ending is a loser. I hated it. So you get to like sometimes at Halloween Horror Nights, I almost said American Horror Story. Like the ending of the house, the scenes will end and then it's just like a dark hallway. Well, you know, sometimes they like to sneak scare actors in there. And the first time we went through, there was a scare actor. So I was already like let go. I was free. I was myself. I wasn't attached to anyone. And then this guy pops out. I literally drop to the floor and run past like 10 people and get my ass out of the house.
Daniel fell. That's also where Daniel fell.
Oh, he fell?
So Daniel falls.
I didn't even notice that. I was already at the
Ashley
door.
ran past Daniel and just left.
And left like, no, there were like 10 people in front of him and I left. I was over it.
And then Josh gets scared in this house. This is the only other house that actually scared Josh.
I never saw the thing that he was talking
Josh
about.
swore something like dropped off the wall. Like not drop, but like dropped and then went back.
I'm pretty sure there was like a scare actor.
I think it was an actor too, but like they were blended into the wall.
Oh.
And Josh, I was hugging Josh every time. He did like a back bend, dropped, and I almost fell on my ass. And I was like, you can't do that. He's like, it got me. And I was like, I don't care.
Oh my.
You are the strong one here. And the people behind us were just dying because I was like, ah!
Joy.
But yeah, I loved Dead Waters. I thought it was way better than Scarecrow.
I agree. And no, and then the second time we went through, the guy got me again. There were two of them.
at the end.
There were two of them. They both got me, but I didn't run out. I was very proud of myself.
I remember we were going into the Voodoo Queen shack, and
but I was
like,
crying when I left the house. Like my eyes were full of water.
Oh my god.
I was.
When we were going through the second time, we were going into the Voodoo Queen's like hut, and it was like that outdoor scene, and I was like, you kept screaming, and it kept scaring me.
Oh, because the big guys were there with their little knives.
So Ashley keeps screaming, and I go, Ashley, you're scaring me, and Ashley goes, they're scaring me. And I was just like, but you're scaring me.
Shut up. I'm scared.
It was scary. Daniel's number 2, American Horror Story.
Incorrect.
He's wrong. He just put yes.
We'll touch on it.
I think Daniel went in order is scariest. I don't think he went.
Yeah.
Where we're just going of what we enjoyed. And the Santa scare was his favorite. So whatever. We're gonna say Daniel's number 1 right now, and then we'll talk about our number 1.
Santa scare.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it when we get there. The Santa scare.
Oh yes.
Daniel's number 1 is Hive, so I definitely think he went by scariest.
Yeah, because he was saying the whole night that Hive was the scariest.
His first thing is whoever says this house was bad is lying to themselves. Totally underestimated because of reviews. The contrasting lighting from room to room made it hard for your eyes to adjust, which we said. Things hanging from the ceiling mess with your depth perception.
Oh, yeah, there were, like, chains and things that could poke you in the eyes. I didn't like that.
No, Dead Waters, there was, like, a vine or something, and it poked me in the eye, and I thought I, like, scratched my cornea.
The first time we went through, I was like, there's something in my eye!
I thought I scratched my cornea. I couldn't open my eye the whole house, so I was, like, a pirate
Daddy
walking.
detached retina.
Right. And then he left the house shaking, and he loved it.
Oh, my.
I don't agree with that, but I mean, it was
Same.
scary. So our number one
American Horror Story.
is American Horror Story, which was also our number one in what we thought we were gonna love.
Yeah, because it's American Horror Story.
We went through this 3 times in total.
Mm-hmm.
We went 2 nights the night all 4 of us went, and 1 time when we
Love
went.
it.
Amazing.
I just love American Horror Story.
Yeah. Daniel said yes, which I agree. It
Yes.
was just one big
We were saying
yes.
yes to everything.
We were turning corners, and I was like, yes.
Sister Mary Eunice!
We were like talking to scare actors as we walked by. You're not Adam Levine. Daniel has that. So you go in, and it was very deceiving. First of all, because you walk into the building, the soundstage, and you're like, oh my god, I'm there. No, there was another 3 switchbacks you had to go through.
Which was fun because you were listening to the music from the show.
Dominique.
And then
The
the
name
name
game.
game. And a bunch of other stuff.
And then you go in and you see the asylum, which was gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
And then there's the 2 creepy nurses with the black, like, drippies.
No, it's not the nurses, it's the
Angels.
statue.
I'm sorry, the
the
statue.
statue from the center of the asylum.
And the
But
one
they had
on,
2 of them.
The one on the left is fake, and the one on the right is an actor. And, like, this screeching noise happens, and she goes, ah!
The noise was scarier than the action.
her.
That's what got me every time.
Then you go in, and you see, like, a painting of bloody face on the wall. Like,
I don't
in blood.
remember that.
It was right here, and then
I don't
Adam
remember
Levine.
that.
Then you see Adam Levine's character.
Oh, I was
who
so
got his-
focused on Adam
Right.
Levine.
Who got his arm ripped off, and he comes out, and he's like, ah! So, we were watching
Someone's
walkthroughs
video.
before we went, and Ashley was like, that's not Adam Levine. I was like, right.
Wow. So then the first time we went through, I yelled it at him,
Yeah,
and he was
we all
trying so
screamed
hard
it.
not to laugh.
He was like, and yeah, and then Bloody Face, you rounded a corner, Bloody Face was right there, so they were like back to back.
I'm not a fan of bloody face.
The Bloody Face mask was scary. And then you walk into the rec room,
Oh yeah,
and there was like a dead guard there.
2 dead patients or whatever, but it was the Christmas scene.
Well, no, half of it was not the Christmas scene.
Oh, it looked like the whole
And then you see, and it looks like nobody else is in the hallway. This was the coolest scare, the Santa scare. They had a mirror set up that pointed at the room, not at you, so you couldn't see yourself. So you thought that nobody was behind it, but the serial killer from that season, dressed as Santa, popped out at you with the star from the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And it was
good.
so cool.
See, I saw it in walkthroughs beforehand or something, so I knew it was
Yeah, we
happening.
knew- Daniel was
ruined
like,
it for us.
"Whoa."
Daniel was like pooping his pants. And then towards the end of the room, if you like were paying attention to the guards, the only time I heard the song was when I stopped and like looked at the dummies. They were playing Dominique. I was like, Dominique. I love that song.
And then you went into the hallway with the angel. With the
Did
kiss
not
of death.
like her.
And then on the right was Bloody Face. So it was like she was distracting. Her wings, like, almost hit you.
Huge.
And then you keep walking, and you're around the corner, and there's Pepper. First night we went through, there was no
There
Pepper.
was nobody in that hallway at all.
First 2 times we went, no Pepper. Which was kind of disappointing. But the second time we saw Pepper, and the makeup was so good.
I love Pepper.
Looked like Pepper.
And then there were like mattresses on the wall, and Bloody Face would pop out of them. Did not like that.
Bloody Face in like a tank top. Like it was like...
Yeah, I'm like, why you in a wife beater?
And then you kept
Then
walking.
Dr.
Then you went into Arden, and Dr. Arden
Was Shelly and cutting her legs off.
Yeah. And then he had a thing that sprayed water at you.
Yes, it got me every freaking time we went through. And then there was one of the mutant people to the right. I never looked at them.
Well, and then the third time we went through, the next room was the hallway towards the crematorium or whatever. There were mutants in there, and I never saw that the first time.
I don't remember anyone popping out of there before.
There were 2 mutants, and they popped out on either side, and
I
I
remember the last time.
jumped out of my skin because I wasn't expecting it. And then you went into Coven. Which, that's part. So you walk in, and it's the main like room of the house with all the Supremes.
The people like floating.
Yeah, there were people floating, and one lady came up from the right and got you, and then you kept walking, and you went into. Did you go into Spalding's?
I don't remember.
I think you went into Spalding.
Okay, yeah, Spalding.
Well,
I don't like Spalding.
The first time we went through, Spalding didn't have the dress on.
No, he just had like boxers
First
and
night.
a shirt on.
Yeah. And then he had a dummy there that was supposed to be Madison, brushing her hair, and that room smelled like baby powder.
Mm-hmm.
Then the last night we went through, the first time he just kind of like lunged at people. The last time he ran straight at the door where we were.
Yeah, he like ran past everyone.
And we were
she
like,
got scared. I was like, why is he running?
I was like, he didn't do that last time.
I was like, as long as he doesn't get in my face, I'm happy.
And then after that you went into the greenhouse.
Mm-hmm. With Cordelia when she got acid thrown in her eyes, which made me mad because it didn't happen there.
Yeah.
I like consistency and I like details.
And then Myrtle's just standing there with the theremin. Are you sure that was with the acid and not her poking her eyes out?
No, because her whole face was red.
Okay. And I was like, oh no, Cordelia! Like, I said it to her and she was like... And then Myrtle, we walked by and I was like, yes, Myrtle!
And then there was the glass. Who was behind that?
It was the, one of the zombies. It was like a Confederate soldier zombie.
Oh. I always
From
ignored him.
from that one where the neighbor boy gets an axe thrown at his back.
Oh, I ignored it.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of scary. And then you saw Kyle.
Yes. I didn't see Kyle the first time. Second time, poop my pants.
Well, because you walk in and you go to the right and he's in this like
corner in the left.
corner in the dark with a light and you just see a shadow and then he's like,
No, the last time we went through, he like jumped at me.
That's weird. No, I didn't. First time he was just kind of there and I was like, Kyle. And then you go into the Madame Lalaurie chamber.
Smelled like poop.
It smelled like actual
I
feces.
hated it. I had to plug my nose.
And then there's the Borquita's there with her
Borquita.
legs broken. You're walking, and then Lalaurie walks out, and she's like, "You're not man enough for my Borquita." You're not Kathy Bates. And then Bastien,
Forget him.
he was huge,
Forget him.
and he had to have an attendant on the other side. I
Yeah,
noticed
I
that
saw
the second
that.
time, and I was like, "This dude is ginormous."
I didn't like him. And then
Then you went into
Papa Legba was at the end of the hallway. I love Papa
Well, no,
Legba.
first you had her floating.
No, I thought Papa Legba was before.
Oh,
that.
maybe.
Yeah, because
Papa Legba was.
I love Papa Legba.
You saw his shadow, and then he like pops out.
I didn't see his shadow. I just saw him, and
saw
I
his
had
shadow.
conversations. I was like, I love you, and he just kind of looked at me, and I was like, I love you, and then I continued
Papa
on.
Legba.
And then you saw whatever her name is.
Oh my god, it's another
Starts
L.
with an L. Whatever.
Lalaurie and
The
whatever.
head voodoo lady.
Oh, Marie Laveau.
Yes, she was like a dummy, like hanging in the ceiling.
Angela Bassett's character.
Yeah.
And then you go into the season we haven't watched.
Roanoke. We know nothing about Roanoke.
But you walk in, there's some cannibals, there's some Man in Bush makes an appearance. It was scary.
Lots of piggy men, and people say that piggy men are not like even that
relevant.
prominent in the freaking season.
And then there are some puppets. It was like the only puppeteering. And
Oh yeah, the little contortionist lady.
and she lunges at you, and that was
like
scary.
it.
But my one complaint was the first time we went through.
We saw the person getting into the puppet.
Yeah, so they were doing a casting just for the puppeteer. And it was just like this guy in all black, and we saw him go in, and I was like, that's not really good. And then the nurses got me the second time.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about Roanoke, so I'm not gonna talk about it. It was a good house. I loved it. It was my favorite.
I
Good night.
loved it. We went through it 3 times, and I could have gone through it 3 more times.
Mhm.
You want to talk about Bill and Ted's?
Oh.
So we got really lucky. We'll talk about it with the Soul Collector video, which is going to be separate because this video is already an hour long. We got to see the annual pass holder show the night before the last night. But the first time we saw it, I loved it. What is that? Oh, that's your foot.
It's a bug.
I loved Bill and Ted's. I thought it was a great way to wrap it up. I had never seen Bill and Ted's before, though.
I don't remember 25, but I think I like this year better.
A lot of people said this was like a great year because last year nobody liked it.
Yeah.
It's very political because it was election year. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And the last show we saw, they did like a 6-minute intro with clips from every
single year that they did.
And
Bill and Ted's.
you know, I don't have like an emotional attachment to Bill and Ted's, but it was emotional being there. And the actors were like adding things. Moana got like a 2-minute standing ovation. That was like
a lot, like the whole time. A lot of the characters, because the audience was getting it. A lot of the characters would stop and be like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, no.
Like Moana had to stop singing at one point. She's like, "This is ridiculous."
The Moana part I thought was the best one because she came out with like an aerial tail on, clamshell bra. She was just all the princesses in one. And she was like, I'm just saying words and build apartments behind me. Amazing. Yeah, and then the two guys playing Bill and Ted, it's what's his name? I know Jason is Ted, and I can never remember Bill's name.
Matt?
No. But they've been playing Bill and Ted for like
Ever.
years. And they were just living their lives. And I know for the last show that they did, they called each other by their real names before they went into the time machine. And what's his name? The guy who came and got them at the end of our show. Rufus.
Oh, yeah.
So they changed it for the last couple shows. Rufus came and got them and said, we're history boys, and that was like the end of the show. And it was awesome.
It was cute. I loved it.
I was really glad that we got to see that annual pass holder show, because it was exactly the show for the final one, but just not with as much.
Yeah, because at the last show, everyone came out dressed up as Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Like every single cast member.
Yeah.
Which was cute.
And the Spicer came out dressed as Elsa. Because she...
Oh my gosh.
She
I know she was Elsa.
When she did I Let Myself Go. And that was like one of the most amazing Bill and Ted's, apparently. So she came out, I heard, dressed as that at one point for the show. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Like something we never were supposed to be able to see. So I loved it.
And we didn't have to wait a million years either.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our Soul Collector video, because that was awesome. So that's how we felt about HHN 27. We'll be back every single year. I don't think we'll do Express again.
It depends on our scheduling.
I think we agreed that we would rather do 2 nights without Express earlier in the year, like in the event, because we didn't need Express our night.
No.
It was raining and we didn't. The Soul Collector night we did.
Oh my god, because it was second to last night.
It was very crowded. We're talking about next year just doing like the package at Cabana Bay and going 2 nights instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still end up cheaper than having Express.
Because Express is like twice the price of a freaking ticket.
Because we went on a Saturday, it was $120. We only paid $69 each for HHN, but $124.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm hooked now, like 100% hooked.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
So yeah, if you want to hear about our Soul Collector, whatever, it will be uploaded after this one, and we'll link it below once it's uploaded.
Yeah.
So next videos you guys will see, we're going to Disneyland in 12 days.
Are we gonna make like packing?
Yeah, we are.
Videos?
We're gonna make planning and packing videos if we have time.
We got our tickets in the mail.
We got everything. You'll see that in another video.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching our HHN journey this year.